You guys, he finally said something. After weeks of clips, edits, and online chaos, JD Vance has officially broken his silence about the Erika Kirk dating rumors. And what he said has everyone talking. This story has been spiraling for days. Every photo, every glance, every body language clip has been turned into a full-blown conspiracy theory online. Some people said it was harmless. Others called it emotional cheating. But now, JD's response is out. And depending on who you ask, it's either the most respectful thing he could have done or pure PR damage control. We're breaking it all down. The viral hug that started it, how Erika got dragged into it, what Usha's been doing behind the scenes, and how JD's apology moment just shifted the entire narrative. Because this isn't just politics anymore. It's full-on pop culture drama. Alright, let's rewind a bit. This all started at a Turning Point USA event. A political event, not a reality show, and yet somehow it became both. Erika Kirk, hosting the event, gave a warm, emotional introduction for JD Vance. She spoke about leadership, courage, and this is what set people off. How JD reminded her of her late husband, Charlie Kirk. She said, "I see some similarities between my husband and JD," and you could feel the crowd get that, "Wait, what?" energy. Then JD walks on stage. They hug, and boom, the internet explodes. Someone clipped it, slowed it down, and added dramatic music. That's all it took. On TikTok, one clip hit over 10 million views overnight. Twitter threads popped up with captions like, "This hug lasted way too long," or "This feels off." And once those edits started trending, the story was officially out of JD's control. The internet went full detective mode. People started breaking down the footage frame by frame. Look at his hand placement. Look at her smile. That was not a normal hug. YouTubers, Reddit users, and gossip accounts turned into analysts overnight. There were theories about lighting, micro-expressions, even eye contact frequency. And once Erika smiled at JD during another public event, that was it. Commenters decided this wasn't just a professional connection, it was personal. Meanwhile, every move JD made after that, every handshake, every speech, every photo was dissected for hidden meaning. That's the scary part of going viral. Once the internet writes your story, you don't get to edit the script anymore. Now here's where it really escalated. JD's wife, Usha, said nothing. No post, no comment, no interview. And that silence was like pouring gasoline on the rumor fire. When she skipped a fundraiser, people said she was distancing herself. When she showed up a week later, people said she looked tense. Even screenshots of her smiling at another event were captioned with stuff like "pain behind the eyes." The poor woman couldn't breathe without it being analyzed. But to the internet, silence equals confirmation. So by the time JD finally said something, people had already written the story for him. And this is the moment everyone had been waiting for. JD Vance seemingly addressed the rumors during a Q&A in Ohio. A reporter straight up asked about the online speculation surrounding Erika Kirk. Now, you could feel the tension in the room. People leaned in, waiting to see how he'd handle it. He smiled politely, took a breath, and said, "People love to take small moments and turn them into big stories. Erika is someone I respect deeply, but I'm a husband first, and I have nothing but love and loyalty for my wife." That line, "I'm a husband first," immediately went viral. Within hours, it was trending on X. Clips of him saying it were reposted with dramatic music. Half of social media was calling it classy and mature. The other half said it was robotic and rehearsed. The comment sections were pure chaos. It's actually crazy how fast that moment spread. Within 24 hours, TikTok had remixes of JD saying, "I'm a husband first." One edit had emotional music and black and white filters, like it was a redemption arc. Meanwhile, Twitter was ruthless. People were saying stuff like, "PR 101, deliver your apology before she delivers the divorce papers." Conservative commentators praised it as grace under fire, while political podcasters said it was strategic damage control. Everyone was watching the same clip, but seeing a completely different story. That's how modern media works. Truth doesn't trend, emotion does. Now here's where Erika comes back into the picture. Or doesn't, depending on how you look at it. Because Erika Kirk hasn't said a single word about any of this. Not one post, not one interview, nothing. She's gone completely off the radar. But the silence only made people more curious. Old clips from her podcasts started circulating, ones where she complimented JD's leadership and character, and people started pulling quotes out of context. Some even started spinning theories that she was waiting for JD to clear the air first. So now her silence is being treated like a statement, which again is how online culture works. You're guilty or defensive just for not posting. A few days later, JD showed up at a public event, and Usha was right there beside him. She wasn't hiding. She wasn't distant. She was front and center. In that image, JD smiling with his wife next to him after all the speculation became its own headline. People online immediately started calling it the forgiveness photo. Commenters were saying stuff like, "That's her way of saying we're good," but others thought it was pure PR. "Notice how they're holding hands exactly where the cameras are?" one user said. Whether it was genuine or staged didn't even matter anymore. It looked like resolution, and that's what people wanted. Of course, once the apology went viral, the media ran wild with it. Conservative outlets called it a moment of humility. Left-leaning blogs said it was image rehab. Late-night hosts turned it into jokes. One headline literally said, "JD Vance apologizes without apologizing," which honestly might be the best summary of this whole story, because JD didn't confirm or deny anything. He didn't even name Erika, but he said just enough for everyone to project their own version of events. That's master-level PR. You create the illusion of transparency while revealing absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, Erika's public image has completely transformed. Before this, she was known mostly as Charlie Kirk's widow, respected in conservative circles, admired for her poise. But now, she's at the center of one of the most viral political scandals of the year. And depending on who you ask, she's either the innocent target of internet hysteria or the woman who got too close to a married man. Neither is fair, but that's how online perception works. The algorithm picks a villain, and Erika's become the unintentional face of that narrative. JD's apology changed his public image too. Before, he was seen as tough, unapologetic, a political brawler. But this moment made him look more human, more emotional. For some voters, that was refreshing. For others, it looked like weakness. But regardless, JD managed to pivot the narrative. Instead of caught up in a scandal, he's now the loyal husband defending his marriage. It's actually kind of brilliant. He reframed the entire story without saying much at all. Even though JD's response calmed things down, the story's far from dead. Old clips keep resurfacing. New analysis videos keep dropping. And for every post saying "let's move on," there's another saying something still feels off. That's the cycle of online drama. It never ends. It just evolves. Once a story hits a certain level of virality, it lives forever. The memes might fade, but the screenshots never disappear. And now, JD, Erika, and Usha are all characters in a story that social media refuses to let die. What's wild is how this entire thing, a hug, a moment, a few quotes, turned into a nationwide conversation about relationships, power, and public image. This story isn't even about JD or Erika anymore. It's about how the internet weaponizes moments. Every blink, every smile, every pause becomes evidence for or against a theory. It's a reminder that in 2025, being famous or political means your personal life isn't personal. It's content. And JD's apology, whether genuine or strategic, shows just how blurred that line has become. So where does it go from here? Well, JD's playing it smart. More public appearances with Usha, less commentary, and a tighter control on narrative. Erika's probably going to keep her head down and let time do its job. But the internet doesn't forget. If either of them so much as breathe near each other again at an event, this whole story will explode all over again. And honestly, that's the price of going viral. Once people turn your real life into a storyline, you don't get to end the episode. They do. You know what's wild? The internet doesn't just watch scandals anymore. It judges them. Right now, people online have turned into an unofficial jury, deciding what's real and what's fake based on micro-expressions and viral edits. One comment section will say, "JD's clearly protecting his marriage." And the next will scream, "He's only sorry because he got caught." There's no middle ground anymore. Everyone's either the villain or the victim, and the audience picks sides in real time. Even mainstream talk shows are doing body language breakdowns, like it's a reality TV reunion. Every pause in JD's statement, every glance Usha gave, every frame of Erika's smile, all being dissected like evidence in court. And that's the scariest part. The truth almost doesn't matter. What matters is which version of the truth goes viral. Once that happens, it's game over. The internet becomes the judge, the jury, and the headline writer. And that's exactly what's happening to JD right now. Here's the thing people forget. Scandals fade, but reputations don't. In politics, timing is everything. If JD can ride this wave out without another viral moment, he actually comes out stronger. Why? Because in the internet era, surviving controversy equals resilience. We've seen this before. Someone goes viral for the wrong reason, apologizes, lays low, then comes back rebranded as authentic or real. JD might just pull that off. He's already repositioning himself around themes like faith, loyalty, and integrity, classic post-scandal framing. Meanwhile, Usha showing up publicly again adds visual proof that the marriage is stable, even if people still speculate behind screens. But Erika? She's in the hardest position of all. She's got to maintain composure while being the centerpiece of a story she never commented on. And if she ever does speak, even one wrong word, it'll reignite the fire instantly. That's the irony of all this. No matter how carefully JD handles it, his redemption depends on silence from the two people at the center of it, Erika and Usha. So, what do you think? Was JD's response heartfelt and genuine? Or was it a perfectly timed PR move to cool off the internet before things got worse? Drop your thoughts below. I'm actually curious to see which side you guys are on. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, this story's not done yet. Politics is officially pop culture now, and every moment counts.